Welcome everyone to a Let's Play, which I thought I wouldn't actually do. And probably because I haven't actually done it, but this is Bomberman 64, The Second Attack. Now, when I restarted the Bomberman Mega Thread, I had intended to LP this, but when I got around to recording it, one particular level broke me so hard that I actually begged my patrons to let me LP other Bomberman games. But I had said that if someone else was willing to record the footage for me, I would commentate it. And that has happened, in this case with one of our guests today, Mr. Loco.
Yo, Mister.
Mr. Well,
I guess I am a little older.
full username LTPejo Loco. Assuming I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, you did. One of the rare instances when somebody does.
Alright. And we're also joined by Sorioi, returning from Super Bomberman 3.
How's it going, folks?
And here's the track video for Bomberman 64.
Oh man, that looks like Kirby crossed with Pikachu.
Oh yeah, you don't even know. And I mean, they went full hog later on when they turned it into a Carabomb and all that Pokemon stuff started happening. Yeah.
In this case, is there a sidekick?
It's actually controllable by player 2 if you have a second controller.
And I just realized that redhead that we saw in there,
Yep.
that looks just like it's pulled straight out of Saga Frontier. On the on those rare cinematics that we get at the end of a quest.
I've not played Saga Frontier.
Oh well, the LP's up in the archive, and one of the ending quests, the characters look all in that almost that exact graphical style.
Like they're made out of 3D clay, essentially?
Yes, basically.
It's really weird seeing characters with hair in Bomberman, actually.
Yeah. And mouths.
They're usually no-mouthed, bald-headed, huge heads, you know?
Or they have hats that would cover their hair.
Right.
I don't know. At the end of the day, it's kind of a new thing, except the only other human-like creature is really weird. I mean, we'll get to that, I suppose.
I mean, I guess there's Professor Ryan, but he's not in this game.
Sir, not appearing in this film.
I am getting arcade flashbacks to the old wireframe, green-tinted Star Wars X-Wing game.
Yeah.
That's a shame, because we're not going to be in the spaceship for very long.
Nope, we're flying right into a black hole, which is more like a white funnel.
Yeah.
Wise Life Choices 101.
I mean, it looks all right for an N64 thing, but I do wonder where they were basing their whole black hole stuff when immediately after this thing happens. That doesn't look very much like what we just saw.
I especially love that, it crops up. It's like, hey, dumbass, that's a really bad idea.
I know what I need to save. This egg. Nothing else.
GPS systems have really gone a long way. They just call you a dumbass now.
That ship's trying. Give it credit.
I really like that it automatically turned away. I mean, considering that he looked like he was heading right for it earlier.
Right.
And I guess Bomberman is a robot because that happened.
That's a good point. What should I do with this egg-like thing? Which isn't an egg, but it looks like an egg.
I mean, at least they didn't suggest, like, cracking it open.
And of course we have a villain name that sounds vaguely Christian demon mythologist.
Oh, about that. In the Japanese original, apparently they were all actually named after demons. To the extent that, they had to really censor it, I guess, for the localization. They don't sound anything like their originals anymore. Except for, like, maybe 5.
In Japanese, he's evil Jesus.
You got it. You figured it out. No, that's probably not it.
This is what it felt like when you were throwing me around in the ship.
Now we have a mascot. Hooray.
Cute mascot character intro. Go!
I can't decide if I like the character interactions in this game. Because Bomberman doesn't say anything, he just gestures, which is funny enough, but there's so much dialogue in this game. Bomberman doesn't feel like a series that needs a lot of it.
No, it doesn't. But there's gonna be a bonus at the end of the game that I think you can buy that'll, well, it'll do something to Bomberman's gesturing.
Most of Bomberman's gestures are just gonna be like, whatever.
Pretty much. I don't like that they have to explain, like, Deus Ex Jewel bombs, that now they're, I guess they're not a part of Bomberman, they're just this MacGuffin. It's okay, we'll get the MacGuffin immediately.
See ya, bitch.
And I'm noticing they're doing the third person thing that they've got going on here. They've kept that in from the original Japanese. I would bet you anything. Because that's supposed to be cute over in Japan.
They did keep him saying Mew constantly. Because Pommy does look like a rabbit Kirby, but I'm guessing he's also a cat.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. How often does he knock over Bomberman stuff?
I guess...
Yes, Red Boy, I'm looking at you.
When we see Pommy in action, he is not nearly as fast as they're making it sound here.
I mean, he managed to get it somehow. We'll never know how, because, I mean, we'll see the extent of his usefulness in this video. I mean, of this evolutions.
I think that right there is it.
Nah, he can stun lock enemies. That's about it, though, right now.
Does it work by throwing him at them?
You can pick him up when you have a pickup glove, but that doesn't help.
See, I'm suddenly you ever read Nodwick?
I've not read Nodwick. The closest thing I can think of is Sadwick from The Whispered World, a completely
Okay.
different game.
No, Nodwick is a comic that they came up with in, gosh, was it Dragon Magazine
It's
for
Jake.
D&D tabletop stuff? He's a horribly abused henchman,
Oh.
and a lot of the time his abuses include being thrown at the dungeon monsters.
I think Bomberman wants to horribly abuse Pommy there.
Yes.
Well, I can pick him up and throw him at people. It just won't help me.
Ah.
I mean, it helps relieve stress, I suppose. And I mean, he'll throw himself at them like you saw. Ineffectually just dropping himself in there and then staying in the path of my bombs.
So the combat in the game is sort of a combination of what they did in Bomberman 64, but going back to the grid flame explosion style. At least for regular bombs. If you pump it up, it'll explode in a radius.
Yep. Also, I can teleport Pommy to me.
And I'm sure that's helpful sometimes.
If you really care about player 2. But if you're playing alone, it's just like, I don't want to hear a Mew, a pained Mew right now. And yeah, that's what Pommy will do if you let it. It stun locks people by headbutting them.
Yeah, like right now he's down there having some fun bullying that rat.
He is a cat.
He won't kill it, but he certainly will bat it around, I suppose.
We also picked up food, and that's what we use to level up Pommy.
Yep, there's sweets, there's veggies, and there's meat.
And people in the thread, there's going to be two things that we're going to ask you to vote on. One of them is which of those foods we want Pommy to focus on, because Pommy has different evolution trees.
Stat growth.
Yeah.
Nice.
We can also choose not to evolve them, and I could avoid them. But here's what the food does, because I think you need like 64 food items before an evolution triggers.
64, you say?
Oh, so clever, Nintendo.
I don't think Nintendo decided that.
It was Vatical Entertainment.
Actually, I don't know what Vatical did for this. For all I know, they just developed like Pommy's AI. Which isn't something to be happy about. Yeah, you can't enter or drown yourself.
Uh-oh.
Meat makes Pommy stronger, veggies increases Pommy's defense, and speed actually makes him run faster. There's Pommy skates, essentially. That's what food does if it doesn't evolve you.
Which food is a speed?
Candy, sweets.
Oh,
Ah, okay. Well, I guess sugar, you know.
Yeah, it's hard to identify some of the foods, and the enemies will kill themselves here. The shish kebabs and dumplings both are foods on skewers, and they're really hard to tell apart. So, grinding for food is fun, is what I'm saying.
Well, I know these power-ups will pretty much always appear in those places. Is food sort of the same way?
Food is not actually... Here's the thing. Most of the power-ups are preset, but food is not. If you can get a coin from a chest, chances are you can also get a food item from there. Though there is a propensity for gold coins and bigger fruits to be in the same box, so the value of items are always the same. Kind of. Hearts are always kind of in the same place.
That right there reminds me of the shit people gave me for forgetting how to stop bombs in Bomberman 64.
It's R. It's always R. I don't see why you would want to stop them, though, especially when they will stop themselves against enemies, and the enemies will drop an extra item if you stun them in this game. It's good for puzzles, though.
It looks it.
And here's our first boss.
that was fast.
Yeah, because it's the intro level. You gotta touch every base.
What's that thing pumping water out of it? I don't know.
Whatever it is, it's not working very well, especially if this is supposed to be like a sewer treatment facility.
It's James Bond, apparently.
No, it's the Human Torch. Didn't you hear him say flame on?
James Bond says flame on.
I do like the music in this game. It's a very spy movie.
Yeah, I love that. I love the music here. I also love Pummy's pose.
Yeah, Pommy's useless in boss fights.
How do those hands work?
I love that he's a heroic mime, too. Makes me think back to Super Mario RPG.
That's not a sound effect. That's just Bomberman whistling out of his eyes.
Although we're probably not going to get nearly so cool a pantomime out of Bomberman, huh?
No, probably not.
We've pretty much seen all of his gestures.
No.
So when I tried recording the game, Balefell gave me some trouble, because I was still trying to get used to the controls, the Bomb Blast grid, and how slow Bomberman moves at the start until you've collected some roller skates. He doesn't give Loco any trouble.
How did you manage that huge bomb? Because that's hilarious.
His main method of attack is just dashing at you and trying to punch you. Even though he's a fire guy. You think he'd do that more. Apparently he has fire punches and kicks. But his special attack is also to send a wave of fire at you. Like I said, gave me trouble, not Loco. Oh. Please, yes.
That doesn't hurt him.
Oh man. Can't recreate Altair.
It's a little cute that he gets stunned, but water doesn't hurt fire, I guess. Oh, Pommy. I hate you, Pommy.
Yeah, Pommy's what happens when they shoot for really cute and, end up going way past their mark.
Oh, you think he's too cute?
Yeah, that's the point. He's so cute that he's looped back around to annoying.
I don't know about that. I mean, they could have given him more lines, more voice acting. That could have been annoying.
Fair enough.
But it's just Mew and Paw Mew all the way down.
So apparently, actually spinning around while you're pumping up a bomb makes it pump up faster.
Yep, the tutorial does say that, but it's like maybe 2 seconds less, or like a second and a half less. Like, if it makes people dizzy, let me know.
Yeah, I was watching that thing. Do you need to be doing that? Because it's really fucking with the camera.
Hey, it's Clay Hair.
She has a mouth. Kill her.
Poppy has a mouth. Can I kill it?
She looks like she's from a PlayStation game. Kill the competitor!
Evil. Well, her name's Lilith.
Didn't most of the PlayStation library, like, get ported to N64 anyway? At least Resident Evil 2 and another one.
Mega Man Legends. Although, actually, didn't they do it the other way around? Legends was on 64 first?
I don't think so, because I think they deliberately changed Legends names to Mega Man 64 when they ported it over. And they took out a lot of voice acting with it.
Ugh. Well, yeah, they had so much less space to work with on a cartridge.
That's their excuse, but then you see Resident Evil 2 and it got ported completely. It's a little weird, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, and the funny thing with the original name, Dash,
Oh, right.
the first time I heard it, what Dash actually stands for, I thought V Prisoner was making that up.
Really?
Yeah. Because it just sounded so ridiculous,
You mean like an Android game? Like a pay-to-win Android game?
Kind of, yeah.
Mega Man X crossover, whatever. That should have been Dash, because it's all about just running straight.
Really, Bomberman.
Yep. I guess he's into Clay Hair.
I guess.
Bomberman is very lonely.
I think that's called hair cement.
Anyway, we got an arm part. Custom parts are back.
Yay. Are we gonna be seeing them?
I'm gonna show them off if you let me, but I don't know. Here's the thing: the custom Bomberman uses a completely different model to Bomberman, so it doesn't have arms, it doesn't have the white bits of the leg. It's just pretty much the pink bits sticking to Bomberman's body. It's really weird, and I love it. Actually, I actually love that minimalistic model.
Oh, and you were right. PlayStation version was first for Legends.
Yeah.
N64 wasn't until like 2, almost 3 years later.
Anyway, that's a jacket item that I just picked up, but I'm not gonna be able to show off because it's gonna run out, immediately when I get touched by the bomb.
No.
The new jacket item is just like a weird Star of David with Bomberman's face in it.
Well, now we know where there are Christian demons.
Or maybe even Jewish.
I don't know, where is Baal from? Like B-A-A-L. Like, what mythology is that one from?
Oh, that's definitely Christian, but he's also Jewish as far as I know, because, the Jews use the Star of David. That's part of that's like their holy symbol, basically.
Okay.
Let's see. Wikipedia. Baal.
New for 64, the second attack. Pushable blocks. We saw how well they did in other games, so we focus tested, and now they're here. In a game about exploding things.
You know.
Yeah, Baal is Hebrew,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
so
So it is.
General Judeo-Christian, then.
Yeah. And of course, Diablo 2 and 3.
The games.
Yes.
Oops.
There's bomb downs as items now. I don't remember if item downs were in Bomberman 64, actually.
Not in the main game. They're probably in multiplayer.
Ah, yeah, but I think in multiplayer you were more often to find the skull, the poison item.
Oh, yeah.
The bomb down and fire down are actually here, and if I remember correctly, the game actually does not save to memory the bomb and fire levels when you reload the game. Like, if you're not playing the whole game in one sitting, you will always lose your remote bomb or your fire level and bomb level. I think your speed as well, unless you have some items that you can find in-game. Which I'll be getting, because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not want to suffer through this game. I want to enjoy it. And also because the armor looks alright.
I think that's another reason why I didn't want to play him, because I kept dying and losing all of my power-ups.
I'm probably not gonna die.
Yeah, rub it in, Loco.
But I will probably be starting off every video at level 1. That'll be a thing.
I love that probably, though.
Well, I mean, I've never not played the game in a whole sitting. So, I mean, why lie? I'm not sure. Anyway, I could have just used a single pumped-up bomb for this, but,
Fuck that. We're doing a skill run, look at that.
I don't remember why I decided to do it this way. Yep.
Well, they do have to get around his lack of jump somehow.
And all that for a leg. Broke a leg for a leg.
That cracks me up because it's like, you know, you just can't help but think he was watching somebody play Metroid or whatever, and afterwards his friend is like, "That's not what it means to bomb jump, buddy."
That's not watching it, that's like hearing it secondhand, like Broken Telephone Bomberman. Did you know about this bounty hunter in space that can do a bomb jump? Well, I can do a bomb jump! Look!
Must be important. They zoomed in on it.
They zoomed in on it and it had an anime subtitle. You know, the ones that used to show up back in Fist of the North Star and stuff like that.
I still need to sit down and watch that.
The idea is that they just show the names of techniques and stop the entire show for it.
Right. Because just, I have absorbed so much.
So both bosses and this thing disables your remote control.
Everything does. Like boss battles, these little challenge rooms. I mean, I guess it's fine, but it's also like, it doesn't really add that much difficulty, so I don't see why they did that. Like, I guess it's for these guys, but they're harmless. Unless you let them hit you.
Was that supposed to be a bunch of popsicles?
I think it was actually 2 candies. Unless I missed the item that you're talking about.
I think that's what it was. It was probably just some kind of sweet.
Yeah, if it was pink and blue, those were 2 wrapped candies, like gumdrops.
Okay. Like Bomberman.
Yes, Bomberman's antenna is definitely a gumdrop.
Yeah, that's actually what it is. It's his emergency rations, just in case he ever runs out of food.
That is actually really convenient. Just stick them on your head. You'll never lose them.
Might forget they're there. They'll be there for a few years.
Bomberman's head stinks. Nobody wants to tell him.
See, that's the other reason he's so lonely. He goes around blowing everything up, and his head stinks like crazy, because that's been there since, what, the first game?
Maybe that's also why he's into the clay hair. It's like, I see your hair is also your emergency rations. A big solid chunk of taffy shaped like hair.
Oh, and there's some cotton candy mixed in there at the back.
Oh, jeez. I really like how Bomberman is always floating off the ground. It's really weird. I get that they probably did it because they didn't want him to look like he was clipping through some ground assets, but...
He does look like he's just a centimeter off the ground.
all the character models do. And I'm pretty sure that it's to prevent clipping. Especially with Pommy, since his character model changes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, look at those jumps.
Pommy sweet ups.
Jumps so much he never touches the ground.
Pommy is actually 50% helium.
Explains a lot.
How do you feel about a nondescript TIE Fighter knockoff?
Yeah, I've seen worse parodies.
Does look like a crushed bird.
Don't worry, it'll look like a crushed bird painted pink. And by the way, a mystery for the thread. How does Pommy find the time to paint this when we're in space?
How does Pommy find the paint, period?
In space, in danger of being sucked into a black hole, so that even if you were to hypothetically find some sort of horrible little Pommy-sized spacesuit, he would still probably just get sucked into the black hole when he comes out to paint it.
Pommy's magical. He just decided he wanted it to be that color, so he waved his hand and it happened.
Oh, here's Clay Hair the Second.
There's rock candy.
How do you pronounce Rookie Felth?
Rukafelth?
Behemoth.
Yeah, you can tell what the original was for that one, Behemoth.
Yeah.
The Bob.
This one is Ball. This one was meant to be Ball. I mean, at least.
Zahel, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they got that from that, but they sure did it.
Which is funny because it can also be an angel named Raziel,
Huh.
and that's, kind of similar.
Maybe it was meant to be Azazel.
Astaroth? Or Astertoth?
Hash tarts.
I keep forgetting which of the ones is the proper spelling or pronunciation.
They're one of those multiple choice names.
I don't know yet, because I can't see.
Oh, and he is so anime. Hair over one eye, mysterious hat.
Yep.
One shoulder is bigger than the other with the armor design.
And he's got that cloak thing going on. Yeah.
Moloch. I can't remember what his original name was.
Possibly Malik?
Oh, yeah, that works.
See, I'm suddenly getting a lot of Soul Reaver flashbacks here, too, with all these names.
I'm drawing a blank on her original name.
Zoe.
I know that the next one is Beelzebub, though. I mean, it's gonna be really obvious.
They didn't hide it especially well. Yep.
Also, if you recognize this character, you're supposed to.
Yeah. We're not going to spoil it just yet, though it's not a spoiler at all.
Lelouch?
Yeah, he's gonna hint it himself right now, anyway.
Bullseye just looks like an anagram of Beelzebub. They didn't try at all.
Look, censorship is hard.
No, you see, we switched the first and last Bs. It's totally different.
Oh, wait. And I just realized he looks like he's one of the Nightsabers from Bubblegum Crisis, too.
You know, you're right. But at the same time, I don't know what to say about that. because I don't know how many people are going to be familiar with like I don't imagine Bubblegum Crisis and Bomberman having like the same fan base.
Not a lot of overlap. Well, you never know. It just depends on, the age group.
Yeah, all right.
Although, there was that Tokyo 2040 one, and since it was newer and all, people are familiar with that at least.
It's going to be really funny when they're all familiar with a board game instead, like the tabletop.
Big evil laugh.
Anyway, so 2 planets. 2 whole planets. The water planet Aquanet, and the wind planet of Horizon.
I think it was the Wind Planet that made me stop playing the game.
I'm really sorry.
And that's the second thing we want the thread to vote on. Which of the unlocked planets you want Loco to go to next?
Yep.
We're going to be doing that for every video.
Choose his pain.
Here's the shop. This is another new thing for Bomberman: The Second Attack. You can buy stuff. Some of the stuff are custom parts that nobody cares about. And then we have the tutorials, essentially.
Huh.
They tell you what the bosses can do, and how much damage everything does.
Whoa.
No one heard him, apparently.
You already saw all of these, so...
Well, actually, I think I missed the flame wave.
But now you can appreciate which one was a kick and which one was a punch, I guess. Because they look the same otherwise.
Yeah.
I really don't understand why they let him do both.
They have the same animation. So you can buy accessories for Bomberman.
Ah, yeah, essentially. I mean, for multiplayer use only. It's not like you can see this Bomberman, like, come into this incredibly serious storyline looking like a clown.
Oh, I wanted him to dress up like a Gundam.
Anyway, here's the parts we got. Knight Shield and Knight Boots, essentially. I don't know if I should show them all off at the end of every video.
There's only like between 2 and 4 in each level, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, you saw the entire list available. There's only 4x4 spots that I can fill, and most of the items are in the Merchant Shop Frontier, which I like to imagine is a reference to something, but if it is, I don't know it. I like the little cowboy guy with a ponytail, though.
Yeah. Maybe that's just, he likes to pretend he is a cowboy, but he doesn't have much of a frontier in a black hole, so...
The real question is, he's the third human in this entire thing, right? Like, everybody else has been a Bomberman except for Clay Hair and Clay Hair II. And Pommy.
I guess humans are an endangered species in Bomber Universe.
Well, they shouldn't hang around the black hole now, should they?
Or the Bomberman.
Well, I mean, there might be no saving. I mean, you saw Bomberman. He's like in a spaceship that's way too big for him. So, he probably just goes wherever the fuck he pleases.
Probably wasn't his ship.
Well, it wasn't his egg, so I mean, yeah, probably. I found a strange ship! It's mine now!
There's just this mechanic watching him fly out. Oh, goodbye! It was nice meeting you too.
Everybody hates Bomberman. He just misunderstands everything. He just thinks they're speaking in an alien language whenever they're, like, swearing at him. Bomberman and the Blood Feud.
Coming to Wii U. That's what Bomberman X-Zero should have been.
Oh, I can't wait for Konami to license Bomberman out to non-puzzle games. Never happening. Pachinko Bomberman is happening first.
Pachinko, man. Oh, speaking of the... Well, not speaking of that, but speaking of the custom parts, one thing I didn't show off in the original 64 LP was all the custom parts that I collected. So Loco went ahead and actually recorded that, and I'm going to upload that, plus the intro tutorial videos. Both of those will be going up at the same time as this video.
Yeah, the intro tutorial is interesting because you can wait at the title screen for, the eye catch to loop, and then it'll play them automatically. Or it also has the option to let you just play them from the start. It's like the bottom option in the menu. It's weird.
Maybe if I'd actually watched them, I'd have a better time playing the game.
Yeah. The second tutorial claims that only special people get to see it, which I imagine are just people patient enough, or people who decided to navigate the menu. I don't know.
What does press start mean?
What does the bottom option mean? I don't get it. Bonus? Oh, I don't care.
I got a Mad Catz controller. They didn't put a start on it. Which button is it?
Is it this one, the slow-mo button? Oh, it is. Shit.
If you're in the thread, go ahead and vote on which of those 2 levels we go to next. And I guess we'll have the voting finish on Wednesday. That'll give you the rest of the week to record it. Alrighty, see you guys in the next video.
Later, folks.